Hello folks, this is Johnny coming to you again with a brand new product on the eXtreme dog fence line of containment systems. Now, we've had a lot of positive response from some of our customers that got the standard grade, the pro grade, or the max grade, and even our new basic system. However, people have been chomping at the bit for a combination system that does not only electric dog fence, but also provides a remote control so you can do behavioral training all with one collar. This is the eXtreme Contain and Train system. As with most electrical dog fences, you're going to get a fence transmitter. It looks very much like this. It's got a dial that lets you decide exactly how far from the wire that you want your dog's fence collar to activate. And once this product is powered up, you'll see a couple of indicator lights to let you know that you've got a solid loop as well as power to the system. Now, if for some reason, like most other electric dog fence systems, if there's some kind of a break in your line, whether it be somebody putting a shovel through the wire outdoors, or maybe somebody's walked through and accidentally knocked one of the terminals loose, your fence is going to alarm on you like this. This lets you know that you've got an inoperable fence and that your dog might be wandering around in the neighbor's yard, so this needs to be addressed as quickly as possible. Back in contact and your fence is operable again. Now, on the other side of this solution is the handheld remote, and this is what that is going to look like. This handheld remote can accommodate up to 3 training collars at one time, each one assigned to one of these 3 channels marked at the bottom, 1, 2, and 3. Each channel is going to activate one collar on your system. Now, this particular channel, you're going to put settings in for this particular dog's needs, temperament, and personality. Those settings will be retained as you cycle through the different channels, activating the collars on your other dogs. To power up your handheld remote, simply depress this power button until your LCD illuminates. Now, while that's powered up, you're going to see a channel represented by the letters A, B, or C, followed by a 2-digit number. What that 2-digit number represents is the strength of the correction that you are triggering in the collar, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. So while you may have one dog on channel 1 who needs a low setting like 0-1 or 0-2, you may have a more hefty dog with a lot more high energy on channel 2 that needs a higher correction level, maybe 7, 8. Now, if you purchased a multi-dog system, all the collars that come with your system initially are going to be matched up to one of the channels that are already here on your handheld remote. If you get an additional collar separately, that collar is going to be matched to the handheld remote that they tested with at the factory. So before you can use it on your system, you're going to have to unmatch it from the test remote and match it up to one of the available channels on your remote. That process is pretty easy. First thing you need to do, ensure that only one collar is being worked with. So any additional collars you're going to want to power off by simply pressing and holding this little rubber power button. It beeps, the LED turns red, and you're off. Now there's no chance of you accidentally unmatching this particular collar from the channel that's associated with it present. So we'll set this one off to the side. Now, in order to unmatch a collar, and you can do this even if your original collars are assigned to particular channels and you want to reassign them, same process needs to be done. What you're going to do first is ensure that your collar is on, press and hold the little rubber button, and once the collar receiver beeps, it's powered on and it's ready to be unmatched. Make sure that your handheld remote is powered up. It is. Now what you're going to want to do to unmatch any collar that is in proximity to the handheld remote is press both the little bell and the little lightning buttons simultaneously for 3 seconds. What you're going to notice after your 3 seconds is that your LCD screen starts cycling numbers, incrementing them by 1, like 2-3 increments per second. What that's telling you is that this is now in unmatched programming mode. Now what you're going to want to do is take your collar, put it in close proximity to the remote, and hit any one of the channel buttons until you hear the collar receiver beep. Now this collar receiver is unmatched. You'll be able to verify this by looking at the little LED light, and it's going to be flashing green rapidly. This lets you know this is an unmatched collar. Okay? So now we've got to get this remote out of the unmatched programming mode, and you do that with the same strokes. Hit your bell button and your lightning button at the same time for 3 seconds, and your LCD screen will go back to its default mode, showing one of the channels followed by the 2-digit representation of the collar's correction and vibration strength. Now, we've got an unpaired collar. Now we need to actually pair this collar to one of the available channels on our handheld remote. This process is very similar. The first thing that we need to do is press the plus button and the lightning button at the same time for 3 seconds. After those 3 seconds, you're going to notice the same pattern. Your LCD screen is cycling through the 2-digit numbers at a rapid pace. This lets you know that you are now in matched programming mode. So at this point, you'll again bring your collar receiver up, close proximity to your handheld remote, and you're going to press whichever channel button you want to assign and match your collar receiver to. I'm going to do channel 3 for demonstration purposes. So we press in the button, number 3, collar beeps. This collar is now matched to this remote on channel 3. Now the only thing left is taking this remote out of the matched programming mode, and that's going to be the same process. Hold the plus button as well as the lightning bolt button for 3 seconds until your LCD screen goes back to its normal mode of operation. Now, we've assigned this particular collar receiver to channel 3. Let's test it and make sure everything's as expected. Press number 3. Make sure you have a C at the beginning of the little sequence that's displayed on your LCD. And what we can do now, test the vibration by using the little wave button. I can hear that coming through nice and strong. And what we can do also is test the static correction. Now there's a couple ways of doing this. The first one is to listen for a beep, because when you depress this to emit a correction from this collar, it's always going to be prefaced with a warning beep. I don't know if you can hear that, it's a bit faint. I'll do it again. Okay. The other way to test is using the little test light tool that comes with your package. And all you need to do to test this is put these 2 contact points against the little metal strips, here we go, that are in these 2 little grooves. Hold it in place. You can see the test light tool is lighting up, letting you know that the correction is coming through. So we have successfully set this particular collar receiver to channel 3 of your dog selection options on the bottom. Okay? So if we had another collar, such as this one, and we wanted to program it to channel 1, let's go through the same process of unmatching and matching it. First things first, take the collar we were just working with and power it off. So there's no chance of this being unmatched to its own channel. There's the beep. This is powered down. We'll set that off to the side and take and power up our other collar receiver. Same way, press the little rubber button. Okay. One thing to notice, when your collar is powered on, there's going to be 2 modes of operation that this system can run in. One of them is going to be fence and handheld remote functionality. The other is going to be fence only. And the way you can tell which mode that a particular collar receiver is in is when it's powered up. If the LED is flashing green 1 time every 5 seconds, you're in dual mode. And this collar will function on the fence and the handheld remote. However, if you want to change to only function on the fence, what you can do is hold your power button just long enough for the LED to light up red. Then release before it beeps. Now we've changed this functionality to a fence-only operation, and you should be able to see your little LED flashing twice every 5 seconds. So that's a telltale sign of how this particular collar is configured, and it would behoove you to only have this set to function on the fence if this is only going to be a fence collar. The reason being is because it will preserve the charge that goes onto this collar receiver longer. So longer you would go without having to charge it up. Now when you get these, the first thing that you're going to want to do before installing anything, and I implore you to do this, is to call 811 and have your city come out and mark your underground utility lines. This call should happen at least 4 days before your installation. Usually takes them 2 to 3 days, but they will send people out to flag all your underground utilities, so not only will you avoid them if you plan to dig and bury your wire in the ground, but also it'll help you avoid any kind of an interference that's caused by running your dog fence wire both parallel and within enough proximity to this intrusive line where your dog fence signal can piggyback it. Because what will happen is your signal can fluctuate off the dog fence, or it can piggyback onto that intrusive line and follow that wherever it leads, causing random intermittent corrections to your dog where they're not wanted. So always do call 811 first, get your planning done. The very next thing that you're gonna wanna do once you've scheduled that is you're gonna wanna take the rechargeable devices and put them on the little charger that's included with your system for at least 8 hours. All subsequent charge windows should be less than 2 hours, but initially you want to leave it on 8 hours. And you can either connect these under the little rubber doors and connect the USB side to a PC, laptop, or Mac, or you can plug the USB directly into this power supply and charge it using the electrical wall outlet, to standard 110 VAC, okay? Now, this is a new product and we want to ensure that it gets in front of the right people. So because these collars are a little bit bulky, we only recommend this for pets between 40 pounds and 220 pounds. Any pet that's a little bit smaller, this might be a little bit bulky and uncomfortable with. However, before you get started, any questions that you can come up with, eXtreme Dog Fence is here for you guys 7 days a week. All you need to do is give a call at 800-305-6116. Monday through Friday, we're here from 8:30 Eastern until 7 p.m. Eastern, extended hours for some of our West Coast valued customers. And on weekends, we're here from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. We always welcome phone calls. We definitely want to make sure that before you pull the trigger on such an important investment like this, that you are 100% comfortable with the technology, with the fact that your customer service is going to bend over backwards to make sure you're happy, and your trust, because we need you to understand we're in this business to keep your pet safe, happy, and healthy. So I implore you, give us a call, shoot us an email, come visit us at the website. Anything you need, we've got you. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your interest in the eXtreme Dog Fence line of products, and we look forward to a valuable friendship and relationship with you moving forward. We want to be your pet supplier for 2019, 2020, and so on. Thank you much.